guys, as you've already heard from previous vlogs, it's been a hell of a few weeks, very busy, so decided I would treat myself on eBay. Picked up a Game Gear. It's got a capacitor issue, so the guy was selling it cheap, with a Master Gear converter. So at some point I'm going to take a bit of time and recap this Game Gear. I might even put a new screen into it so that we've got an LCD screen instead of the old one that has a bit of ghosting issue. But for the moment, don't have the time for that. I'm going to pop down to town now, check emails, do some paperwork there, and after that I might even get back to getting the comics done and the videos. We haven't got any vlogs. Jen's videos are still not done. It's just been a hell of a time here in town. So busy, but that's council season for you. Every couple of months you end up incredibly busy, and the council work was supposed to essentially be, and because of work-life balance and getting people into the jobs from standard work, it's supposed to be part-time essentially, but for a couple of weeks, every couple of months, it essentially turns into full-time. I have no problem with that. That's the nature of the beast, and I'm happy to do it, but it does mean that everything else has to go on hold, which is what I've been doing, because it's got to come first. But pretty much over with now, so let's just hope that we can get on with everything else. Right. Head down to town hall now, get some paperwork done. Let's go! The humidity's up again, it's making it difficult to breathe. Right, the parcel. My little treat to myself because of all the work I've been doing. It's been delivered in a paper bag from Primark. So let's open it by there, it's open. Not good packaging. Thank goodness that inside is a Memorex game case, which is a padded game case for the Game Gear. Let's have a look at what's in it. Nothing in the top zip bit. Right, here we go. We have the wide gear. See if I can unscrew that and open it. Which is just a magnifying glass for the Game Gear. It goes around it somehow. I can't remember how these fix on. Something like that. Yeah, it's like that. And then it magnifies the Game Gear screen a little bit, which I don't know whether you can see, but it's kind of useful, kind of not. The Game Gear already had a very wide, large screen, so I'm not sure about the overall use of that, but this is the main thing. The Gear Master. Now, Sega made their own version, the Master Gear Converter, but this is one of the other ones. I think there's 3 in total. There's the original design, which is by a third party, then there's this one, then there's the Sega one. And it literally just slides into the game cartridge slot there, on the back of the Game Gear. There we go. And then you put your Master System game in the back, and bling bling bling. It's really heavy though. Once you get everything together, the Game Gear becomes quite heavy. Especially if you stuck that wide thing on the front. I mean, good grief. Now we'll take this. Put that on the back. It's going to be huge. Hardly fits, in fact. My goodness. No, with the Master System attachment, I don't think it can fit. Interesting, but that screws into the slot that's just here, underneath that. And that's basically just screw-on expansions. There we are. This Game Gear looks in remarkably good condition. There's a little bit of glue residue there. Whoa, it still had some charge in the capacitor. Watch, can I turn the screen on? It's just flashing a little bit, it's still got some charge in it. This is really, really nice. Like I say, I'm going to check the state of the capacitors, and if they are problematic, I'll change them. And if they're not, then I might leave it. But also we've got the Sega Game Gear power adapter, which is another thing that made me want this particular eBay auction, because I've got a really nice condition Game Gear here. I'm really happy with that. Oh, batteries in the back. That's why it's causing trouble. It's got batteries in. Don't know how long they've been in there. Dare you. Dare you, super heavy duty. But I'm going to take these out because the last thing I need is for me to forget that they're in there and then accidentally let them corrode. There's no corrosion there. Yeah, there's no corrosion in there. All perfectly good condition. No wonder the Game Gear was heavy. It's got batteries in it. So, we're going to leave that for the moment. But like I said, I'll check it. And if the capacitors are reasonable, then it'll be okay. But if they're not, I'll change them. So, that's going to go into that. I'm going to put everything back into this box. And then we're going to need a Master System game to test this on. So I'm going to pop the CEX after I've done my paperwork. And then that'll be my treat for getting through everything that's been going on. My goodness, it's been such a load of stuff, hasn't it? So, let's put this away and get on with some work. Right. Finally back home, and we have some interesting stuff, of course, because this is the Game Gear with the Master Gear converter. Now, there's only one way to test whether the Game Gear is going to work, and that's to use a game that we know works. So, I've got the Foreman and Major League Basketball, baseball that I had yesterday and tested yesterday. So, we've also got one to test the Master Gear converter. Now, if those two Game Gear games work, then that's great. It means the Game Gear works. And then if this works as well, Action Fighter, which funnily enough, CEX are now not taking in anymore, so get in quick if you want it. Then if that works, then the Master Gear converter works as well, because of course cartridges, they don't tend to not work, but we'll test things and see how it goes. Anyway, let's get a coat off because I am exhausted. The weather is so humid that I'm having trouble. So let's get on, test them, and then let's see what else we do today. Now, I've just noticed something. This is listed as Action Fighter Mint. Now, the box is in very good condition, I'll give them that. But, let's open it up. Does that look mint to you? Doesn't look mint to me. That looks like the manual's a bit damaged. So, I'm not happy with that. Action Fighter boxed is $3.50 on CEX's website. I've got it listed here. Mint is $8. I'm not happy with that. I'm going to have to talk to them about that. But let's go and see if this works. Okay, got the game in and the power supply in. Let's see how it works. No, it doesn't. At all, in fact. Now, I know the cartridge works. We saw the Game Gear turning on earlier on. There we are. There we are. Sega. So, we know that the game works. No sound whatsoever. So these capacitors definitely need to be changed because there's hardly anything on screen, but it's a decent screen. The screen doesn't seem to have any issues on it whatsoever. So that screen is good, but there's no sound, which is to be expected. My goodness, I am sweating like buckets today. So we know this works, and oh, it's gone off. Oh, that's not good. Right, the Game Gear definitely works. Let's try out the Master Gear converter. But yeah, we know now that it definitely needs recapping because the sound is gone. I'm going to try this. I'm still not happy with the fact that that is not mint. Gear Master's in the back. This goes in there. Just blowing it quickly to get any dust and dirt off. Which way around does this go? That way? Yes. Oh, it's got this little thing so you can only get in one way. That's good. Okay, let's take this off and get the Master System game in properly. There, clip. So it's in, clipped in properly. For use with the Sega system only. Haha. Yeah, which Sega system? Right. Nothing. Oh, there we are. White screen. It's not happy. Make sure everything's sat in position properly. Really doesn't seem happy, does it? Really doesn't seem happy. Right, I'm going to keep going and see what happens. I don't know whether this is a Master System problem, a cartridge problem, what, but let's take the game out. And then put the game back in again. It's definitely in. And that's definitely in. It doesn't seem to be happy. Let's try with the other Game Gear. Okay, that's weird. This Game Gear, What's the word then? This Game Gear power supply doesn't fit my Game Gear. Only that one. I have no idea why. Right, we're going up to the office now because the office, of course, has the Mega Drive power supply and we're going to use that instead. Okay, let's see if I can get this going this time. Right. Testing my Game Gear, my usual one, with the Mega Drive's power supply. Nothing. Turning on the Mega Drive power supply. There we go. The Game Gear works. Can't really pull this around much, can I? The screen is not great at the moment, but it'll power up. I'm having trouble today, my goodness, it's not happy. The things we do for retro, you know, I've got to recap both these Game Gears. I've got a second one to practice on. There we are. Columns. Excellent. So I know this one works. I'm going to leave that to just play a little bit while I grab this. Right, Game Gear is properly powered. You can see this the screen and everything. So let's put this in now. This is not happy. Not at all. The screen is not being read properly. Oh. Game Gear is region free, so it's not a region locking issue. That's not right, is it? Now the screen's just flickering. I wonder if it's a connection problem. Everything seems to be right with it. There's very little to go wrong with these things because it's basically just an adapter to change the size of the cartridge bay. It's not happy at all. There's one last thing that we have to do, of course, and that's test the new Game Gear with columns and the Mega Drive 2 power supply. Which doesn't fit. That's really, really strange. This has a power supply that doesn't fit the Mega Drive 2. This has a power supply that doesn't fit the Game Gear power adapter for that one, but does fit the Mega Drive 2 and powers up properly. So I don't know what's going on. Now I'm going to take the batteries out of this because, my goodness, I should not have left them in. And throw them away. Because there's no way that I'm going to be needing batteries with my old Game Gear. It doesn't go anywhere anymore, it stays at home. Never went very many places in the first place, right? The furthest it went was to my grandparents when we used to visit. But I don't want it corroding the battery base, you know? I think I may have got it. It may have just been that the Master Gear converter wasn't going in fully on the top. You can see now there's not as much of a ridge. I was just wondering whether that'll work. Well, the lines on screen are different. So we're getting somewhere. I don't know what to do. I mean, look, it's just white screen. It's disappointing. Very disappointing. A few hours later. Right, it's time to go out because it's the thank you party drinks thing for James Daly in Bolton North East. And it's time to go out and do that. Jen will be back, I think, in a couple of days. I'm looking forward to seeing her again, you know. And I still didn't get the Gear Master to work, but I did pick up a few other games, so I'm going to talk about that very, very quickly before I go, and then we'll get moving. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. I really get annoyed when they bring out extra versions of things we've already bloody got, but oh well. If you want a full collection, you've got to pick up the crap, haven't you? Alien Hominid. I have no idea what this is about. It looks like some sort of platformer, maybe on minigames. I don't know, but it looks quite good. The art style is fun. And Robin Hood's Quest. It's going to be terrible. We know it's going to be terrible, but it was 50p. And yeah, there's a series of things. It's like isometric 3D almost. Puzzle games for kids, like really young kids. And they're all about 50p to £1 in CX at the moment. But if you want a complete collection, you're going to have to get them quick because I'm pretty sure they didn't make very many and they're not going to be around forever. I'm hoping I've got a reasonably full collection of them by now. Because I don't want them anymore. Right, let's go out. It's time to go to a party. Well, this is a turn for the books. I've got the location of this event I'm going to wrong in my diary. I've got Astley Bridge written down. It's not in Astley Bridge, it's in Dunsker. Dunsker is in Bromley Cross, another part of town. And it's Friday night, so I phoned up one of my friends and said, where is it? And he said, oh, you're at the wrong one, you'll have to get a taxi. So yeah, it's Friday night. By the time I get a taxi and it gets to where I am, and then I can go and drive to where I'm supposed to be, by the time all of that happens, I could have walked there. So that's what I'm doing. There's no point in wasting time. waiting for something when you can do it yourself. I'm angry with myself. I was looking forward to a night out, you know? And it turns out that I screwed up the dates and times and things. Because what I've got written down is actually happening on Monday. This is what happens when you're so overworked because you're trying to run your own business and do all this stuff for other people because they can't do it. And then get onto the council stuff as well. And then do stuff for Jen. And it all adds up. Basically doing 4 people's work. Mistakes happen. So I'm annoyed with myself. But what can you do, eh? We just gotta plough on.
Can everybody hear me? Yes. For good or for bad, you can hear me?
Yes.
I'm afraid, obviously, that when you come to a celebration, which I would like to think this is a celebration in one sense of the word, the candidate has to say a few things.
It's been a very nice evening. I haven't filmed a huge amount because that wasn't the point of tonight, but it's been a good evening and it's been nice to see people. Nice to just let off some steam after the long campaign. Actually, it wasn't that long at all. It was only like 7 weeks, but you know what I mean. So that was good. Got to get on now. Maybe getting late, but still a lot of work to do. So let's get back.